Hello, and what is going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Today is the fourth round in the 2022 series of Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup has arrived on GT7. We'll be taking on to be at the Nurburgring Grand Prix layout by using two SF19 Super Formula race car with Toyota and Honda engine variant. We'll be joined in by having a special appearance. We'll be participating in the fourth round. Now we go on for the event schedule as a recap from round 3 at 24 Jerez du Mans racetrack for the GR010 Hybrid 2021 to be labeled as a Le Mans Hypercar category class for a single Group 1 category. But it was so awesome to take the nighttime. We'll start out to be in the first lap towards the 6th lap to be in the daytime. It was so awesome and fully well competitive to be on the first part of the 1-make race for the GR010 Hybrid until the third round in the first season of the 2022 Gran Turismo World Series Nations Cup. We'll go for the second time by adding up with 7 laps. We'll do the same. But it turns out that the Nurburgring Grand Prix track is going to be very challenging by using two SF19 Super Formula with different manufacturer brands on the engine variant. However, it might be quite very challenging to go on the rain, so better be prepared because racing on a track with a wet surface is doing some patience work. We'll have to get settled in to do some practice work. We'll have to go longer to be on a dry surface. So get yourself prepared, you guys. 12 laps for the number of players up to 16 by having a grid start will go underway, and especially to have different tire compounds will be set up for having a temporary amount for only one pit stop until the rain stops. So choose the Toyota or Honda engine variant of the SF19 Super Formula. We'll have to get prepared by having a BOP regulation will be set up automatically. Everything's all set. Race settings is perfectly to be labeled yes. Number of pit stops set to be none. Light will be labeled to be on the penalty. Alright, here I go, folks. I'm about to choose the Toyota engine variant since the first race from round 1 will go underway. 639 horsepower on the power and 1455 pounds is going to be perfectly to be as usual. Be very careful. Taking 15 turns around in the Nurburgring in the Grand Prix layout is going to be very slippery, so take exercise caution while you can before we will join in session to take the lobby. As always, if you're new to my YouTube channel, go and click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the session down below. Check out the links on the description if you want to see more, and don't forget to click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos in the later future. Now it is time to get ready to start the race. Let's begin. It's about to go intense to have 55% in the surface water at the Nürburgring track is going to be turns out to become more intense by having a temperature change in 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so it might be going cooler out there before the race begins in about 20 seconds. Do the best while you can and go with two choices of the racing tire compound with the intermediate or heavy wet whenever we like to choose. So here we go, folks. The fourth round in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. We'll have to get ready to start out to have two engine variants of the SF19 Super Formula. Let's get ready to go racing at the rain for the fourth round in the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup in the 2022 series. Let's do this, folks. Let's start out with drivers in the Honda and Toyota engine variant. We'll get started. TT Guy in first place. Second place is Barreca, is now entered in the silver position. Flint Eastwood has entered in third place. Fourth place we have Lucas, is now entered in the number 4 spot. Chronix Monia 4 is entered 5th place. STI Ducktail has entered 6th place. We have Lee 36558 in 7th place is now joining session. RSR Kingster in 8th place. SS Chabali 69 in 9th place. Here's myself in 10th place with a UDRS Insportec livery. Jockey 89 has entered in position 11. Snowman has arrived in position 12. 13th place Crazy ACN is joining session. 14th place we have Toodles is now welcome aboard ever since from the final race in the Manufacturers Cup. And Ben is entered in 50th place towards the last. Get ready, you guys. 3 seconds and go for the regular starting grid. We'll have to take a good smooth sailing to be on the wet surface. We'll go underway. And there it goes. Looks like we have one racer just barely took a spun out. After the start of the race will begin. But brace yourself. Heading down onto the Yokohama S is going to be much crowded out there, and brace yourself for having a weather radar to be well needed in case. Gosh, looks like several drivers just barely took a multiple amount of penalty to be going effect. So let's go patient and clean racing is a #1 best racing chance for the SF19 Super Formula. Will go underway in the 4th round of Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup is going to be going much intense by the difficult. Now comes in to have 12 laps. We'll get settled in and get prepared by having some moderation. We'll have to go early break by the main method. But this one is going to be the final race entry. We'll have to take a last resort for Team Insportec, while several racers will have to go again for the 3rd time ever. Now coming in onto turn 7 to enter at the Michael Scoophammer S will be step up and go hill climb by the elevation will get steeper. Stay on track. Dropping down onto 13th place for Team Insportec. Watch the blinking lights onto the rear is going to be well signaled to be on the rain condition. There we go. Looks like Lucas is now being dropped down onto 13th place before Insportec will have to go forward to be in turn number 10 through 11 to be at the Worcester curve. This corner is going to be very tricky and also to be useful to have a rain condition will be settled in to be as well. But there goes. Looks like several racers are about to be moved in automatically. And there goes Team UDRS Insportec of the Toyota engine version of the SF19 Super Formula. Kicks in and go dominate to have a patient strategy. We'll have to push up for the pace. Now on to turn number 15 at the final corner. There goes another racer to have another one by losing control amount of grip. Stay at it. Looks like this race is going to get much more difficult before entered in lap number 2 without having an update in the fastest lap time. Keep our eyes checked. Moving on in lap number 3, we'll be at the stopping point at any time. But there goes a late braking position for Team Insportec while Crazy ACN is moved on to be in position number 9. But it might be quite very harder to see how impatient racers can probably have to stay on track and follow the line to be on the Nurburgring Grand Prix track is going to be very difficult for today's weather condition. However, the rain still dropping in on the area is going to get much slippery out there for several racers in the SF19 Super Formula, where the Toyota or Honda engine variant will be going juiced up by having a determination ever since the 3rd update has also to be arrived with 3 new cars as well. So now coming in to have 2 racers before Team Insportec will have to go for the hard defense, will have to stay steady. But there goes RSR Kingster is now losing control to be at the outside and go right back in to catch up on the Chronic Isma 4 is now entered onto the next sector to be at the Michael Scoophammer S. Safety measures are also to be well concerned, so keep it up. Looks like the rain condition is going to be challenging us, so we could probably have to do some racing strategy to do some patient moment. Now coming down onto the next turn in 11 at the Worcester curve. Follow up to be at the Aben Vulcan in turn number 12. We'll have to keep up and go for the NGK Chicane is now coming forward to be at turn number 13 and 14. There's Crazy ACN is now entered onto the 14. Aim towards number 15 at the final corner for several racers. We'll have to kickstart by doing the full stretch to be moving on in the next lap. And there goes SS Chevali 69 by having 1 minute 54.558 seconds is now moving on to be in position 3. So very good, and hard racing pace is going to be doing some patient moment for the SF19 racers in the 4th round of Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. It's all about strategy, is going to have to master the wet surface in the rain condition. So now drop down on to 12th place for Team Insportec. However, the handling is going to be very struggle out there to take, but it might be quite very possible to stay on edge without losing amount of grip. But there goes Snowman have left the lobby for only 14 drivers left standing to be on a track with a wet surface in the track. Now for sector number 2, here I go. take turn number 6 and go for the inside cornering is going to be doing off the track by having a further exercise caution. Now coming in onto turn 7, looks like this might have a slight lineup out there for the formation. For many racers, will have to take the Micro Scoop Hammer S to be on the 3rd sector. It's going to get much faster, and well, motivation is going to have to do some balancing check on the mobility. This one is going to be the 2nd time ever to be racing in a 3-day weekend. Is going to be part of the conclusion. There goes TT Guy in 12th place. So let's see how he could probably have to stay steady to take turn number 11 at the Worcester curve. Sector clear, now moving on in number 4. Alright, looks like TT Guy just really did a good job by having 1 minute 52.871 seconds in the update by the fastest lap time. Good thing I saw him right on sight and entered at turn number 15. Keep it up and go watching check eyes on the right side tires to be on the front before it moves on to be in number 4 for only a few more laps to go remaining at the end of the first wave by having a multiplier times 4. So let's see how the top 3 racers is doing so far out there since entering lap number 4. Looks like Barreca is now doing great to take the first position. STI Ducktail has entered to be smoothly in position number 2. Same goes for SS_Shabali 69 in 3rd place. And many racers are still going forward to be on the lineup to take turn number 5 and 6 and go down forward to be at the hairpin in turn 7. Another sector clear at the end of number 2 before enter back onto sector 3. We'll have to take the Micro Scoop Hammer S. We'll have to go smoothly once again for another round and go climb up by having a patient moment to have a surface condition is going to get much heavier at this time. There you go, looks like further length distance in about 18 seconds. For many racers, we'll have to gang up and take the Micro Scoop Hammer S. We'll have to go smoothly by the curb. Patience is the key out there, you guys. I know being impatient is going to get much too over-aggressive ever since from the full walkthrough of the GT7 campaign. Gonna have to master it. Looks like the dry surface is about to go a little bit decrease, and several raindrops will be coming around, will go increased percentage. So keep our eyes checked and look for having a perfect spot. We'll have to go for the dry surface. We'll have to keep up and go clean racing by the chance. So now, looks like Crazy ACN is now going right back on to position number 11 after being forced to slow down by having a cautious lead to have some fine position to be called out onto the instant replay. But of course, it might be quite doing some longer delays from the 3rd round at Le Mans for the GR010 Hybrid for having a first ever one-make race in the Le Mans Hypercar category class. But it was a lot of fun out there to take the night time and go daytime at the end in lap number 6. Perfect time and perfect moments to be on the racing highlights before the 4th round is going to get much very harder at this time before Honda engine steps in to be part of the Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup for the 2022 series. Now for the battle rages on for Chronic Insoma 4 and Crazy ACN in position number 11 and 12 before entered onto sector 2 by having some series of tight turns by the corner. So here it comes. Looks like 2 racers will have to stay on top of each other, as you may ever seen the wet trails to be followed up onto the lineup. There goes turn number 7, and looks like Ben is now dropped down onto position number 11 to stay on track. We'll have to keep on hold. Now for only 3 racers have entered the Micro Scoop Hammer S corner. We'll have to go up smoothly to take turn number 10. There we go. Looks like this one might be quite doing perfect out there to be on the Worcester curve. Splendid work. Now let's see how the penalty line is going to be the perfect landmark to see how 3 SF19 racers will have to go forward to be in the 4th sector. Now for the chicane as we go in, please take a very good, excellent lineup and go for having an offense. And hold on, looks like Crazy ACN just barely tried to keep holding on before entered in turn number 15, while Chronic Insoma 4 is now staying on the well behind position onto number 12. So here comes RSR Kingster, takes the lap time by the update in a minute 49.502 seconds, is doing well achieved by doing the faster work to beat the wet surface on the track. It takes matter of hard work and turns out brilliant to see how faster experts can dominate the rain and go smoothly by having a passive racing clean effort for only a single Group X category. But not to mention, because master the skills in the rain in the SF19 Super Formula is very important to beat the rain. It's going to be very hard time out there for many expert Gran Turismo players. So just gonna have to learn patiently and go correctly to have different tire compound will go intermediate. Halfway there, folks. Lap number 6, 6 more to go remaining, and here we have lead 365.52 is now coming in to take the scene while Team Insportec is having a hard time, is doing some trouble moment to be on the rain surface. But clearly, it's going to get much decreased effort out there and about 25% remaining on the ground surface in the rain. Going up onto the Micro Scoop Hammer S, take turn number 10 and go forward onto turn 11 to be at the Worcester curve. Still in one piece. Now for number 11 at the turn to take that straightaway onto turn 12. Aben Bogan in sector number 4. It looks like the rain stopped, but the red surface is still out there, so we could probably have to keep a good steady pace to go exercise caution. However, it might be quite possible to have a pit stop will be called in by further chances to be on the optional recall. So it looks like Chronic Intima 4 is now entered to be in the pits by putting up the intermediate rain tires. And so far so good to have one Canadian racer to have a Japanese title is Lead 365 is now passing through onto position 12. But here comes the contact, so better make sure to save plenty amount of overtake before we could probably have to take the dry condition. We'll have to be patient in about 0% remaining. So let's go in there and take that braking position onto turn number 3 to be followed up at the Mercedes Arena. Now's the time, and go boost up for the overtake whenever it takes to take the chance. Alright, looks like partly cloudy is still out there in the skies, and luckily the weather radar is going to be giving a well check by having no percentage to be on the rain surface to be called out by having some blends. We'll have to do some summer rain moments. So keep it up and stay strong out there for the top 3 racers. We'll have to stay ongoing before the final lap will be reached up by the number 12 spot before currently to take the number 7. Well, of course, I might be quite getting a little bit nervous about racing in the rain. It is very tough out there by the nervous. But still trying to go mobility is going to be doing perfectly by doing the main balance. Well, of course, faster drivers might be quite very easily to go for the advantage to take the upper hand. But I'm still trying to gang up in about 37 seconds, and there goes the yellow flag signal just barely called in, folks. Let's have another instant replay for the investigation. Alright, looks like it might be quite turns out to see how it goes. Challenging to see one racer could probably have to be very gentle without losing amount of grip. There goes Flint Eastwood in position number 13 at the pits. Lap number 8 is on the way, and here comes Team Insportec. We'll have to catch up in the 13th position after Flint Eastwood is now coming out at the pits. But take your time. Looks like the heavy wet is going to be going harder out there by doing some amount of grip. Now take turn number 3 at the Mercedes Arena, and here goes Mben in position 12. Alright, looks like that should probably have to do the trick. Go for the slipstream and keep up by the pressure to take sector number 2. We'll be at turn number 5. Going braking at turn 6. Go dive in, we'll get closer to have an offense, we'll get shorter at this moment. Now we have Bareka takes the lap time, will go update in 1 minute 47.233 seconds, is going to be doing incredible out there. And hold on, looks like yellow flag check. Looks like we have one racer is slowing down, and it's Clint Eastwood in position number 12 to be go pass by in at end bend before take the overtake pass. Wow, looks like that might be quite having a hard time moments to see how Clint Eastwood is having a difficult time on the handling before end bend comes in to take the scene. Instant replay might be quite doing perfectly to be right on the mark and goes correctly to have turn number 12 to be at the Abend Bogdan. We'll have to go for the final sector in lap number 8. So let's keep our hopes check and go braking to be at the NGK chicane. Stay on track. Looks like N-Ben has entered the pits automatically. We'll have to go correctly without having a penalty. Heavy wet tires is also to be well used to be active. But I bet this might have to take 3 more laps to go to be entered into the 9th lap. As also for having the start of the first lap is going to be taking place to be on the late afternoon and go for the night time. But I bet the time forward is about to go for having a twilight until one racer just left the lobby in about 14 remaining. So let's be very patient and go concentrated by the chance to have amount of steady pace to be on the grip. Okay, looks like Chronic Isma 4 is now being overtaken at my position to be going right back on to 12th place. Sector 2, here I go, take turn 5 and go for turn number 6. Absolutely doing fantastic to see how the rain stopped and continue on to be in the wet surface to be on a partly cloudy condition in the Nurburgring Grand Prix track. Inside cornering is doing well. There goes the dry surface. It takes time and about 20% left before it will have to go decrease by 0 remaining. But I can't wait to see how the race will might have to switch things up to go back onto the soft racing compound tires. We'll do the best thing. But it takes time, so gonna have to be very careful and watch the surface on the wet spot. Is gonna be a very tough time. Sector number 4, here I go again, and here comes a surveillance check for every racer who might have to go for the pit stop. So let's get a good tire grip check and go for turn number 15 at the final corner. But I bet this might have to do a perfect time. We'll have to call out for having a pit stop before entered onto lap number 10 will be labeled as a deadline for Team UTRS Insportec in the Toyota engine variant. But there goes Clint Eastwood, you guys. 1 minute 47.109 seconds is right on the clock, is doing perfectly by the update in the fastest lap. So now it comes in to have Clint Eastwood is doing perfectly to be on the fastest lap time, is doing well perfectly by the check. But it takes time because the tire compound will be going in by having a suitable choices between the hard, medium, or soft racing compound tires will be entered to be at the pits at the end of lap number 10. So let's keep our hopes and go smoothly to have a dry condition is going to be on the way. So let's check the review after taking turn 6, still in one piece, and push up forward to be on the straight curve straightaway towards the turn number 7. Alright, looks like one of the top 3 racers have entered in lap number 11 and goes over to have Bareka is now currently to stay in position number 1. Looks like STI Ducktail is doing perfectly to stay on the ropes in position 2, and we have Jockey _89 in 3rd place is now going right in to take the number 3 position at the spot. So let's go back in and see how Insportec is doing so far out there to take. But hold on, looks like one racer just really took a spun out in turn number 15. Oh man, looks like that was definitely might be quite losing control by having too much pressure on the rear tires at the wet compound tires. Looks like pit stop might be quite going called out automatically for Team Insportec before the 13th place is now dropped down to be at last. Bummer. looks like racing in the rain is going to be very harder out there to take. Now, let's go right over to be on the pit stop to have a perfect choice. We'll go for the hard racing compound tires. How hard can it be to see how Insportec will might have to be ready to be prepared by doing a slick surface. We'll have to go low surface to be on the wet track. Let's be very patient and be on the lookout. Looks like RSR Kingster is now entered in 3rd place. Still going up farther up ahead for STI Ducktail and Bereka in position number 2 and 1st. And then for Insportec comes out at the pits by switching things up to go for the hard racing compound tires. No matter how I might have to take the final chance, we'll go for the sacrifice. But however, so much for having a racing soft tires is definitely might be going exercise caution. We'll take the risk. So let's go. Alright, looks like just gonna have to stay full up onto the dry surface. Looks like it's about to get over soon. One more lap to go for the top 3 drivers, and goes on to have lap number 11 will have to be ongoing by the push. And especially for Team Insportec, just barely took a hard time after having some series of exercise caution to be in a wet surface is very difficult to take. But it still might have to take a long time by master every corners to face up with tougher opponents is going to get much serious, and go further to have a dry surface will be in the nick of time. So let's go and take the final lap for the top 3 drivers. We'll have to go on the way. 1 minute 40 seconds onto the total gap time for the 13th place driver. For myself is going to be a very tough time for having a further chance. We'll have to take the final stretch. We'll be at the finish line. There goes RSR Kingster, moves on to be in position number 2 at the go. And there goes Toodles on to 3rd place. Looks like that might have a very good 2 racers between Canadian and American Gran Turismo racer. We'll have to catch up on to Bereka in position 1. But however it takes, we'll have to go farther as it goes, because the final race entry will have to take the final resort before Insportec takes the final lap by having 1 more to go remaining. It all comes down to this, folks. This race is going to be very difficult for Team UTRS Insportec of the Toyota engine variant of the SF19 Super Formula. Gives many patience. And hold on, looks like, update check, looks like Bereka takes the win in 1st place in round 4 of Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup. Right at the schedule, and Bereka takes the win, you guys. What in the most absolutely difficult race to be in a rain condition at the Nurburgring. So now we have RSR Kingster and Toodles have finished in 2nd and 3rd place. Many racers are about to be going forward automatically. We'll have to take the final chance in about a minute left before the race is over. So here comes lead D365 in the Japanese letter in position number 12 for Team Insportec. We'll go for the chance to have a numbered position. We'll have to get closer to be at the Michael Scoophammer S. Drive patient and drive very well and boost up for the overtake. I hope this is going closer out there to avoid getting loose up on the grid. Oh boy, looks like that was close call. That was definitely close call for Team Insportec, while Lead 365 just barely spun itself out without having a penalty. Looks like the driver just barely almost lost his grip by having a sacrifice call before Insportec will have to be hurry up in about 13 seconds left by the race is over. Hurry up. Looks like Insportec might have to keep up the pace in about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Boy, what a difficult race, you guys. But I cannot believe it. One position goes up and smoothly without preventing a spin out, but it might be quite having one time amount is going to be doing some final outcome. But of course, it was a very tough race that I just did patient well to be in the rain surface. Boy, what a difficult race, you guys. What a very difficult race in round 4 at the Nurburgring to be on today's forecast is going to be on the partly cloudy with a chance of rain. Great race by the way, folks. So now we have the top 3 racer just did a perfect job by having 3 Toyota engine variant of the SF19 Super Formula 2019 was absolutely incredible. Patient, faster, and well defended. Will have to go push up by the offense. Will have to do a correction steady balance. But luckily for myself, I just barely did survive by putting up a different position to get avoided onto the 13th place at last. Congratulations, Bareka, RSR_Kingster, and Toodles. You did an absolutely job well done to have the 4th round is very challenging to go intense. So give me one moment to type out. Alright, looks like there you go. Message sent, so I could probably have to type it out. The race is very intense. Okay, now looks like this is going to be doing some best moments for having a replay will be needed as well. So there you go. Replay saved to the library as a reminder, so I guess this is definitely might be doing good for having a halfway mark in the 2022 series for this event, folks. But I have to make sure to practice well when racing on the rain is doing some hard work for the SF19 Super Formula between the Toyota or Honda engine variant. We'll have to step up and go for the faster push by having 2 tire compounds to be on the rain surface by having intermediate or heavy wet. Now that's a safety competition to be at the Nurburgring, folks. What a very difficult race in round 4 of Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup in the 2022 series for the SF19 Super Formula, with the Toyota and Honda engine variants come together by having an update to be well changed up and go adding up by a specified car for the featured moment. As also for the 4th round ends before moving on in round 5 in July 24, 2022 will be scheduled in the next race will be at Autopolis International Racing Course by having 2 manufacturer cars in the GR86 versus BRCS will take the battle between 2 chassis will go on the way. So let's have a good preview look. 10 laps for the number of players up to 16 with a grid start by having Toyota and Subaru will go battle out each other by having a very good excellent determined pick by choosing any kinds of 2 vehicles with different kinds of custom parts and liveries as well. So let's scroll down. Car restriction is going to be using with garage car and event specified car. Alright. I guess this is going to be a very hard to pick for myself, so I could probably have to go with a GR86 or BRCS is very hard to pick. Now let's have a good check for the event schedule. It's going to be turns out to have round 4 will be highlighted to be green light complete. So next up it's going to be perfectly by having round 5 we'll be doing another round to be as a specified car before round 6 at the end of July. We'll be moving on in August in 14 at Fuji International Speedway for the GR Supra RC 2020. And especially for round 7, the GR Yaris RC High Performance First Edition will be taking on with a brand new course later on in a future update in next Sunday on August 28th for only a few more weeks to go. So be patient. Looks like another new track will be coming soon by having an update, so we have to keep our fingers crossed before moving on to take the next round before the second season of the Manufacturers Cup and Nations Cup in the 2022 Gran Turismo World Series. Now let's go back to the garage and have another round to be on the roulette ticket. We'll have to go for having another time. So let's go for the 3-star ticket, and here I go. This time, it's going to be a very good high value rarity chance to take the prize. Which one of these 3 cars should I have received? Maybe not, but low currency credits is now stopping at 5,000 credits. Bummer. I thought this is going to be having 3 cars to become more perfectly. Alright, so I'll have to save the 4-star later on before the next day, before continue on to have another round by having some more mileage. We'll have to go for the distance. But I mean, of course, going patiently when racing on a track with a rain surface is doing some hard work for having faster cars, just like the SF19 Super Formula with a Toyota engine variant with a UDRS Inspirtech livery. But of course it is, because being slowed down is going to be my safety measures so I won't go over aggressive or be in contact at other opponents. But luckily, being respectful and well concentrated is going to be doing some safer ways to be racing on the wet surface to be on every track. But of course it is, because I just really don't want to get pushed myself to be way too hard when racing faster cars on a track is going to be doing some riskier movements. But of course it is, if I could probably have to keep holding the brakes and keep up the pressure on every tough turns whenever I see it, but it might have to do two choices to be on the intermediate or heavy wet tires to be in the racing category. But of course it is, because I might be getting a little bit nervous sometimes when racing in the rain by having an online competition is going to be very challenging for myself to get tested. But try not to get anything too absurd at each other, because that one might have a result of a contact by preventing off the track will get a result of the penalty. But I have to keep myself calm and be very gentle and well polite as a racer, so it might have to go well improved to go up and climb up to be in the top 5 position is a very difficult opportunity to be as a Gran Turismo racer before moving on in GT7 from GT Sport. Time to wrap this up, folks. I know this is going to be a very long time from round 3 in Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup at Le Mans for the GR010 Hybrid. We'll have to do a preparation work by having a double feature to be on the 3rd round and round 4 as well, along with other content videos like the Manufacturers Cup and Nations Cup will be coming soon at this very moment. Thank you for watching on my video in Gran Turismo 7, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Just go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. And don't forget to follow me on any social media platforms like DeviantArt, Instagram, GT Planet, Twitter, and more to see for my own image artwork like UDRS liveries, Total Drama fan art with car liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.